All right, moving on, according to reports, the U.S. has proposed a UN resolution on the Ukraine war that omits any mention of Kiev's territory occupied by Russia. Washington's proposal comes amid an intensifying feud between Donald Trump and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. Now, this proposed resolution appears to rival a separate draft resolution produced by Kiev and its European allies. The Ukrainian European text blames Russia for invasion and commits to Kiev's territorial integrity. It demands an immediate and unconditional withdrawal of Russian troops from Ukraine. On the other hand, U.S.-backed proposals text reportedly calls for a swift end to the conflict without mentioning Kiev's territorial integrity, and it was welcomed by Moscow's ambassador as a good move. Now, Ukraine and European allies say they have been sidelined out of talks between U.S. and Russian officials. However, Trump has now said that both Zelensky and Russian President Vladimir Putin will have to get together to end the war.
I think that President Putin and President Zelensky are going to have to get together because, you know what, we want to stop killing millions of people. You have young soldiers being killed. If you saw the pictures that I saw of the battlefield from satellite, you've never seen any pictures like that. Soldiers are being killed by the thousands a week, thousands of soldiers a week. As we speak, they're being killed. That's why I want to see a ceasefire and I want to get the deal done. I think we have a chance to get the deal done. I had to make sure that Russia wanted to do it.
Now, Trump has also said that they are pretty close to reaching the deal with Ukraine, which will allow the U.S. access to country's rare earth minerals in exchange for continued military aid.
How close are you to striking a minerals deal?
I think we're pretty close, yeah. I think they want it, and they feel good about it, and it's significant, it's a big deal. But they want it, and it keeps us in that country, and they're very happy about it. But it's we get our money back. This should have been signed long before we went in. This should have been signed by Biden, but Biden didn't know too much about what he was doing. The war should have never happened.
Zelensky said during his nightly address that his government is working with the U.S. on a draft agreement aiming to strengthen weakening relations between the two countries. As Washington presses Kiev to sign the minerals deal, Zelensky has said he hopes for a fair result. But Trump says Ukraine has no cards to play with. And for more details, WION's correspondent Anas Malik has sent us this report from Kiev. Listen in.
See what we can come up with.
The comments by the US president that he does not feel it essential that President Zelensky of Ukraine should be part of the negotiating table has not been welcomed, and in fact there is a lot of critique with regards to this statement and on US foreign policy at large here in Ukraine. The Ukrainian government officials maintain that any deal without Ukraine on Ukraine will not be acceptable, neither it will be a binding, and that the response of European allies would be quite decisive when it comes to the comments that have been made by US President Donald Trump. It is also very important to note the fact that the French President Emmanuel Macron and the UK Prime Minister will be meeting President Trump next week at the White House, and what they have to say with regards to such statements that are being considered provocative will be very important and something very closely watched out here in Ukraine. Anas Malik in Kyiv in Ukraine for WION. The World is One.